Pelicans get absolutely destroyed. It's crazy to see that Pelicans get absolutely destroyed. I gotta get the right score up here. Sorry about that. We'll get the right score up here soon. But Pelicans get destroyed by the Mavericks. Let's talk about it. But before we get in, like, comment, subscribe, we're gonna talk about it. Get your comments in. I will try to bring them up as much as possible.
First took away. Yes, but this. Get your money's worth.
Presented by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Propels Talk, located at 19 Pointer Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 if you're someone you know has been involved in an accident. Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Propels Talk. No sugarcoating it. They got their ass kicked tonight. I mean, just completely and utterly embarrassed at home. There's a stat, Lido. Kyrie and Luka combined for 68, I think it was. Let me get the right stat up here. Kyrie and I'm so just pissed off right now. Luka and Kyrie combined for 65 points, 10 rebounds, 16 assists. Zion and Brandon combined for 38 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. Zion Williamson finished with 2 rebounds tonight. Lito, what'd you see tonight?
I saw what you just said. Like they was cheats. That shit was trash. The whole thing was trash. Zion having 2 rebounds is trash. Zion don't look good at all. Zion looks terrible. He looks like I
thought he was in the gym all off season. I thought he was in the best shape of his life.
He had the best shape of it. He was in the best shape. He was in the gym every day the whole summer. Like that shit was trash. Yo, if I'm a fan, if I paid to go to that game, I'm upset. That is a bad brand of basketball. That is egregious. There's no fucking it's one thing losing. Listen, I say this all the time. You can be a bad team, but if you're a bad team and you boring, bro, you fucked up. You fucked up on both ends. This is the thing. Pause. This is the thing. Yo, they ain't have no heart out there. Them boys quit. Zion for sure look like he quit. I don't never want to see Zion play basketball passive ever again in my life. That shit was so bad. And he bro, 2 rebounds.
2.
Dog, come on, dog.
Kyrie he got out rebounded by Brandon Ingram. He had the same amount of rebounds as Jordan Hawkins. Got rebounded by Dyson Daniels. He got out rebounded by an injured Larry Nance. He got out rebounded by Matt Ryan. He got out rebounded by JRE. He got out rebounded by Cody Zeller. He got out rebounded by Kyra Lewis.
Is it Will? Chaz. Is it Will or is it I asked this Chris, my bad, Chaz. I asked Chris this on his show. Is it philosophy or is it Will?
I think I saw some positive things tonight. I really like what I saw from Dyson Daniels. 3 for 6 from the 3-point arc, was tenacious on the rebound, tenacious defender, had a really good intermediate game, made some quality passes. I like the 2-man game from Zion and JV. I thought JV was incredible most of the night. I really think JV should have had maybe 20 field goal attempts personally. I think a lot of the defensive rebounding tonight was positioning. Appreciate you, 504 boy. Yeah, bro, it's difficult being a fan here. But I thought a lot of the defensive rebound issues tonight with Zion specifically was positional. I feel like he almost was never in the right place to get the rebound. Almost never. There was a couple times where, another thing I want to really talk about too was Zion. These last 3 games, maybe 2 games, the turnovers. I don't know if it's the shoes. I don't know what's going on. But that first turnover with the slipping and all that, what the fuck is happening like with these shoes or the court? What's happening here? I don't know how
he's the only one slipping. He's the only one.
Well, the last game, a couple people slipped, but tonight he was the only person I saw slip, and that was his first turnover, I believe. So I'm tired of the slipping and shit. I don't know if the thumb is contributing to some of like the sloppy handle. He already doesn't have a great handle. But overall, free throws was pretty bad from across the board. Zion misses 4, Brandon misses 3. You can't have that from your 2 max guys. Bench didn't really give you much. Matt Ryan, he seemed to find his shot toward the end of the game. That could be a positive moving forward. You saw some good minutes from JRE. You saw some really bad minutes from Larry. Hopefully he's healthy. And take your time, Larry. No need to rush back. Just take the season. Take the season. Yeah, but other than that, man, hey, you just you move on to the next game.
Yeah. Before we get to Ross, please hit that like button. We see a lot of y'all in the room. We see a lot of y'all watch the show. Please hit that like button. It really helps out the show. Ross, that I asked this to Chris Connor on the way home. I called him. Do you think they quit tonight? Do you think the Pelicans quit tonight?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
When do you think they quit?
No question. It looked to me. Well, I mean, you could probably make an argument at some point late in the second quarter, but it for sure probably 4-ish minutes into the third, between 4 and 5 minutes into the third, just stopped playing. Just effort went out the window. Yeah, it just got ugly really, really, really fast.
That's all you want to add? That's it? That's all you got for me?
No, I mean, there's a lot. Like, it just was terrible. I mean, you come out. Look, it's just so much. It's so much deeper than did they quit? Like, because it's not. They're quitting out of frustration. They're quitting because they don't have answers. They're either they're not being provided them, or they don't have adequate personnel to solve the issues. When you're giving up that many open looks, there's just not a defender in that starting unit. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, we give up straight line drives. We have no protection at the rim. No protect. I mean, God bless Jonas. I appreciate what he does. That's not his strong suit. So what's happening right now with Herb Jones off the court, and even with CJ to a certain extent, CJ's kind of a clever, smart defender. What you have is no defense on the court, period. And you have no rim protection. You've got no backstop. You got nobody that's going to clean up some of the messes. Nothing. And so what's happening is, well, you got to overhelp, right? Because you're not stopping the ball at the point of attack. You're not good in pick and roll coverage. And so you're having to overhelp. And you're just, I mean, good God, they shot so many open 3-point. I could have had, I'm
Luka.
serious to God, I could have had 18 tonight for the Mavs.
Luka
I could have gone like 6 of the 10 on just wide open catch and shoot pre-game warm-up 3-pointers tonight. You can't play defense like that. And yeah, there's a frustration when we have to work hard for baskets, whether it's Brandon, whether it's Zion, whatever. Zion's having to work hard for baskets here lately. I mean, every we give Brandon. Hey, look, hold on. We give Brandon a hard time for the mid-range jumpers and everything's contested and everything else. Man, Zion, every shot Zion has to get is contested. 2 or 3 guys. We just don't. We're not generating a lot of easy looks, and we're giving up a ton on the other end. So it's frustration. They quit out of frustration.
And that's a perfect segue into this next segment, because Lito, I'm gonna start with you here, because we have to talk Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and just the offensive philosophy of this team. Because you'll watch the Mavericks, and it is side to side. That ball's moving. It's from Kyrie to Luka. It could be Tim Hardaway. It could be anybody. It's literally anybody. Anybody can go off on that team because the ball is moving. But I want to bring this comment up, and I'm not taking a shot at Brandon Ingram, okay? But BI is killing our offense. He played too slow, right? I think in general they play too slow. It's dribble, 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 dribble. And as Chad says, one pass, jack up a shot. It's dribble, 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 dribble. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Contested midway. Like, Lito, there are so many problems on the offensive end. I don't see how, like, maybe Trey Murphy fixes this, or like, is it just simply CJ McCollum being hurt? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
My bad. All right, so a couple things. I don't know if you heard before the broadcast, AD and Joel talking about how Luka and Kyrie, they got together this offseason. They hung out. They played some basketball. They got to know each other's game because they got together in February last year, and you only had 2 months at the end of the season. And this particular duo, we see each other when we see each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we catch each other on Halloween or some shit. I don't know when exactly they go over the plays. And it's funny. It's interesting to hear Zion's comments the last game about how it feels like they started communicating. You motherfuckers just started communicating? I'm talking about after the last game he said this. But you just started to communicate? Did you ever say a word to each other prior to? Like, how do you not have a feel for each other's game? We 5 years in, bro. We 5 years in. Leader to leader, best player of the team, best player on the team. Somebody gotta be like, hey, y'all, fuck this. Hey, B.I., let me holler at you. Or Zion, let me holler at you.
Hey, Leo, I hate to cut you. I hate to interject. Neither one of them guys is a leader. Keep going.
No, they not. But and that's the thing. Like, listen, man. Seriously, the fact that, and I ain't shooting at you, Justin, but the fact that we even bringing up CJ McCollum missing time, a guy who everybody told me is not good. He's not a guy who's important on this team, right? Like, he's a guy who was a scapegoat for the majority of last season. He's a guy who, shout out to you, Steve. He's a guy that you know, I don't know. I said this, shout out to Darian, man. I was tweeting and I said, if Zion had Brandon's height and Zion if CJ had Brandon's height and Zion's athleticism, he'd be one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time. He'd be incredible because he has the mental fortitude. He's not weak-minded, and he works on his game. He works on all competencies of his game. He comes in as a professional. You saw how he started the season, bro. The however many games he played, he was the best player on the team. You can argue with your grandmother. I don't give a fuck. He was the best player on the team, and you see what's missing with him. You see facilitation, and not only that, but it's like the intelligence of dribble penetration, knowing when and when not to, knowing how to get others involved, how to penetrate the lane and kick. And it's like, I don't understand why 1 in 14 can't do that.
Chaz, I want to get to this. Is an interesting comment. I don't want to. The first half I'm not really focused on. It's more of he doesn't even have a solid mid-range game, and he isn't good from three. And I'm not trying to I want to highlight something about this. Why hasn't Zion added? What has he added to his game in 5 years since he's been in New Orleans? Because we've all talked about he's an incredible driver. He can finish. He's great touch. He doesn't take mid-ranges. He doesn't pick and pop. He doesn't shoot the three. What has he worked on, or what has he gotten better at since coming here? Because now I feel like the league is starting to realize, all he does is really just kind of just drive and just lay it up.
I think it's two things. Not two things as far as him adding to his game. I think you will. It's hard to even get a real chance to see what Zion's added to his game because it's such an ill-fitting thing on the court. Because again, if I'm attracting 3-4 motherfuckers, even if I can shoot the mid-range, the smart play is to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? If I'm attracting 2, 3, 4 defenders, the smart play is to pass it to a wide open Jordan Hawkins, wide open Matt Ryan, et cetera, et cetera. But, with the spacing being so terrible on his court, you see a lot of guys just falling back into those same bad habits, falling back into desperation. I think one of my biggest issues with Zion this season, but especially tonight, it's bro, just pick up a tech. Just pick up the tech, bro.
We gotta talk about that.
Yeah, be demonstrative. Pick up a really violent offensive foul. Because it's the only way you can stop him is by fouling him. I don't really know that he's been figured out, quote unquote, but I think he gets fouled a lot and he doesn't get the calls. But at this point, you're either gonna change up what you're doing or you're gonna sit there and look stupid in anticipation that the refs or the players are gonna stop fouling you or stop being so hard on you, pause. But it's dude, at the end of the day, you got to make the adjustments because you're good enough to do it. As far as the CJ thing, I say this for a long time. Lito had a show this offseason, and we talked about this, where it was bro, for me, I think CJ is the second best regular season player on this team. And I said on my show that if this is a top duo, not even the best, because I thought that was ridiculous. But if this is a top duo in the league, and a lot of people feel like CJ is the most replaceable guy on this roster, you see it all the time. Oh, get CJ out of here for trade, et cetera, et cetera. I personally think Brandon is the most replaceable person on this roster, right? You're seeing now you got a healthy Brandon and a healthy Zion, and it's awful. It's awful. It's an awful brand of basketball. They don't have a chance. And it's been this way since Brandon's return and CJ's injury. So that says a lot about this duo, if you ask me.
Hey, Justin, can I jump in on that? What has Zion done for his game, and he doesn't shoot mid ranges.
Yeah.
And I hate to I'll answer the question first. What has he added to his game by telling you what he hasn't added? And I still think he's awful defensively. He hasn't gotten better. But I'm going to make a comparison to Giannis. Okay? I was going to say when he came in the league, he still can't shoot mid-range, still can't shoot threes. But what has happened around Giannis, right? That has nothing to do with him. When he came in the league, who was on the Bucks? You had Michael Carter-Williams. You had Jabari Parker. You had there was a big guy. Greg Monroe was the big guy. Thank you. Eric Bledsoe was in there for a bit. So what happened as you started to realize what Giannis was elite at? Okay. You went and got Brook Lopez. You went and got you got Lillard now, obviously can shoot. You got Drew Holiday who could help create, take off some of the defensive pressure. You went and drafted guys like Malcolm Brogdon and Pat Connaughton and role players that could shoot, stretch the floor, all defensive-minded, focused players, other guards. Look at what they've done around him, okay? Even Chris Middleton, really good shooter. He's got a little mid-range to his game, but Middleton is a different type of player. What have we done around Giannis other than continue to clog the shit out of the place? I'm sorry. What have we done around Zion other than continue to get guys that will, or they're going to clog the shit out of the paint? I've said this for a while. I like Jonas. I appreciate what he does. I think he's probably underappreciated to a certain extent. He does not fit with Zion. Not today, not tomorrow, not in a week. They don't fit together. Just look at any possession where he gets the ball, right? It's a clusterfuck down there. You got to continue to try to spread this thing out and fix the personnel for me. And I like this. I'm not just pouring on Jonas here. I'm really not. But this for me is a personnel issue.
But and Chad's been saying this for a while now, but Lito, in your opinion,
shout out to Maxie.
Tyrese Maxey. Lito, who doesn't fit between those three? Brandon, JV, and Zion. Who doesn't fit? Who's the odd man out here? Because it's clear as day. Who's the odd man out?
The thing is two of the three don't fit.
Who?
Because let me tell you.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna tell you because Brandon and JV can work, and Zion and JV can work. Now, are you asking me if Brandon and Zion can? I don't know. I've been waiting 5 years to find out. It doesn't. If I'm going off the last,
that's
5
your
games,
problem right there. Hold on. I'm sorry. That's the problem right there. It's year 5 and you still don't know. Then the answer is no.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. I don't know what to tell you. I a lot of people think this show doesn't like Brandon Ingram. I like Brandon Ingram. I think he's a good player, but we're talking about the fit between Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas. And guys, it doesn't fucking work. Okay. I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to be nice, but shout out Steven again for a super chat. The pick and pop. I don't know. The Jonas pick and pop.
I would have liked to see that tonight.
But with the only
Dyson and I think Jonas, Dyson's first step in Jonas would allow him and Jonas to do something, but it's you never see no touches for JV.
I gotta bring this up. I kind of disagree with this because I've seen that. I like their 2-man game. Mont Dog.
So wait,
yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, so look, Mont Dog, you got a point, right? Because you don't see it enough. They don't engage with each other enough. I'm gonna say this: the game that Zion got hurt last year in Philly, when it took them 28 games, but they finally ran a JV Zion pick and roll. And that shit was killing the Sixers. It was literally nothing Embiid can do. He didn't know who to rotate to, and Zion's first step was too quick. But after that, Zion got hurt. You never seen it again. So I do think that it could work because JV is he's a skilled big. He don't necessarily need. Bro, I don't know. This shit is frustrating, dog. It's frustrating to talk about, because there is none.
That's the $1 million question. What is the Ross? What is the Chaz? Do you who wants to go first?
I can go first. Mine is one question. Mine's one word.
Go ahead.
Our identity is dysfunction.
Well, I'll say the team's nature, the natural thing, the only advantages that this team has is to play through Jonas and Zion with 3 other floor spaces on the court. That's the best this team can do, right? That's what it is. Like you saw about 2-3 plays. Even tonight, you saw some Zion and JV chemistry. JV big 3 from the wing. JV a couple touch passes to JV in the paint for dunk patience for him to finish it. You see the chemistry. You saw it in Denver. You see it, right? You see it. You know what it is. You know why. And again, I'm not trying to shit on Herb or Brandon really, but it's like, bro. Again, you know why Maxey looks as good as he's looking right now? Because you don't have James Harden in the way. There's a thing that's about addition by subtraction. If you remove Herb and Brandon from the equation, there's more space for your 2 advantage creators. Can you imagine Zion going 1-on-1, 1-on-2 with some motherfucker, some victim, or JV putting having Lively in the post, not having to worry about 2-3 motherfuckers crashing down on him. Lively had like 3 fouls tonight, and then JV got what's his name, Dwight Powell. He got him on his hip. He can't get the ball. Like even in the bonus, can't get the ball. Can't get a look. So it's like everybody knows what the issue is, but at the same time, you have to have players who are willing to buy into that inside-out philosophy. And if they are already tuning out Coach James Borregno, if that's already like fuck out of here, James, then what you do with that?
I'm glad you brought that up because did you want to say something else real quick? Because I want to bring up Jake's comment. Go ahead.
I know we went to we're talking about the JV offensive fit, and that's why the reason I'm saying it's not working is because it's on the defensive end. And I know JV works hard and he rebounds and stuff, but the way we play defense, you just run into nights like tonight where it just is so evident that we would be better off with somebody that could help clean things up, a true rim protector, somebody that actually deters layups, that can fix some of the perimeter defending issues that we seem to have from time to time. That for me is more of the focus. JV's always been a pretty efficient big guy, and so for me it's more of a defensive fix than it is an offensive fix.
Real quickly though, because I want to bring up Jake's comment.
I just wanted to ask anybody in the chat or y'all, do y'all remember how many times we saw Brandon Zion pick and roll tonight?
Yeah, I can actually tell you. I remember I actually have it in my notes that they ran it early. It was early in the first half. Actually, no, it was early in the second half. Zion had a step up screen. It might have been the first 2 possessions of the second half, and Brandon came off so clean. It was just a 1 dribble pull up. It was perfect. And Brandon hit the mid range.
How many points?
He hit it for 2 points.
Exactly.
2 points.
See,
that's no. I know. I know.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you anything. Or I'm not saying Lito anybody. I'm just saying that's one of the major issues with this team, and even to Ross's point with upgrading JV from a defensive standpoint. It's like, yeah, I totally agree. But it's like from an offensive standpoint, now you're talking about dealing with having even less space out there to navigate and really do anything. If you're talking about a guy like Capella, Nick Claxton, Jared Allen, those guys aren't shot creators. So you have to have a passer who's able to lob. And all of this is contingent upon Brandon not being on the floor, or probably Herb not being on the floor, or at least them 3 Brandon, Herb, that defensive big, and Zion not being on the floor together. Because you're talking about Zion going 1-on-4. You're talking about guys getting underneath the lob, sending the big man to the free throw line. Or you're talking about Herb just parked in the corner, launching bad threes. It's just like, man, we all know what needs to be done.
Yo, at one point, we're gonna get into this next comment, but like at one point it was JRE, Larry Nance, Matt Ryan, Brandon Ingram, and like Najee Marshall. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, come on.
Hey, Najee has 6 points.
Okay, that's fine. Great. Shout out back. Welcome back, Najee. But that can't be a lineup in today's NBA. Lito, I think it's the offensive game plan. What's the game plan?
Shit.
No, hold up. Like, what are your eyes? Like, what are your eyes saying? Like, what are they saying? Like, what's the game plan? Like when you're watching it,
when I watch the Pels, I think the game plan is null and void. I think the game plan is isolation basketball.
Okay.
I think that you can't. I'm not looking at a fluidity. There's no motion. There's no like the Horns actually you saw last game, right? Like shit like that. we may do something one game, and then the next game it's a possibility. It's like playing spades, right? I may have a book, but I don't know. Like it just depends. We don't have an identity. We don't do the same things. We don't follow up with the things, and we don't make in-game adjustments on things. What is the offensive game plan, bro? Like make them take up. I don't know.
Can I ask a question to you guys? Because I
This
think
is
this
a great. This is a great. This is such a good.
He helps the rebounding defense. Literally the anti-Zion. Hey, maybe
we're not comparing. We're not comparing Zion to Giannis. Just to be clear, we're comparing the style of play and what they put around him. I get it.
But
I agree.
I think, man, I hate to say this. I hate to throw this guy on the bus. Do you think Willie has lost his team? Because for me, I feel like Willie lost the team sometime last year, and it's just been an ongoing thing. Like they kind of just been like kind of coasting. If you look at some of the interactions on the sideline today, or just Willie's been telling certain guys to shoot more threes, or telling other guys to do this, and he's saying, with the second unit, we play the brand of basketball we want to play. But the second unit got those wily old vets or those guys with like 1 foot in the league. So do you think Willie Green has lost this starting lineup?
Lost the starting lineup how? Like
that
they don't want to play for him?
Yeah, well, like he doesn't command the respect or the authoritative, position.
So I to your point or to your question, Chaz, like I think there's got to be accountability. I can't stand when Zion doesn't get a call on one end. And he did it again tonight, and he literally loafs all the. And so you miss on one end, and then the other two, and then they're playing 5-on-4 on the other, and you don't make it past half court, and it's still a problem. This is game 10. I don't care if you're in shape or not. You just get back. That's just what you do. He's still doing it in game 10. So where is that accountability? Where is that call out? Right? Like I'm still waiting for the press conference. Like I was listening to the radio on the way home. Graf was saying that Jason Kidd called them out a couple nights ago, saying that they played soft, they played weak, they had no pace, like things like that. The next night they beat the shit out of the Clippers, and then tonight they beat the shit out of the Pelicans. At what point is Willie going to just get on that podium and be like, "This needs if we need to play this type of way, or something's going to change"? We played soft tonight. We played like a bunch of assholes tonight. When is that going to happen? When is that call out in the press conference going to happen? Because look, I'm not a big Saints guy either. Like I watch the Saints, but like the biggest thing with Dennis Allen, right? Like he's like a great coach, but like he never like has accountability, calls out his players in press conferences. And I feel like that's the same problem with Willie. Like at some point, you got to make it a fucking point to say like this is not acceptable. To have 108 points through 3 quarters, I don't care who we're playing. That is not acceptable. But I don't hear it yet. I don't.
What about benching them? What about benching them for?
You can't bench Zion. Like you're not going to bench Zion. What do you mean? Like, bench him throughout the game? I'll bench him throughout the game. It's fine.
I'm saying throughout. Like maybe he comes off the bench for the next. Dog, something got to happen.
You bench him, you lose him. Like if you bench him, you lose him. But you got to, bro. The way Zion responds, and I have a fact. Like when he gets called out on TV or whatever. Like CJ McCollum's a perfect example. He doesn't return my phone call. CJ calls him out on All-Star weekend. Magically, he returns his phone call the next day.
Fuck all that.
Okay, I'm just letting you know, dude.
I shouldn't have to get on national television and call you out. From the same CJ McCollum we hearing in the locker room that is delivering the same message, and they still not listening to it. What is the difference? So I have to get on national television, but I can't tell you face to face in the locker room.
Not that
you talking about Willie Green.
No. I'm talking about
to get Zion like to play. Like,
yeah.
I think, man. I'm sorry, Ross. Go ahead, and I'll answer after Ross.
No, I mean to answer your Willie, I almost want to like answer your question with a question. Like you saying, when did he lose the starting lineup? I don't like. Did he ever have him? Like outside of the honeymoon, like that half season kind of honeymoon of the first year. I mean,
he still
don't think he had him last year. Like I'm not sure that he had him last year, and never really had Zion much because he ain't never played. And I feel like Brandon's kind of played his own brand of basketball from the jump. I don't know. For me, it's again, I go back to this. It's not really, I don't know that it's really a Willie issue. I think you got a personnel problem.
Before we get to your point, Chaz, we got a lot of people in this room. Can y'all hit the like button? It helps out the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Go ahead, Chaz.
Man, look, and this is where the show takes a turn. Okay, look, I feel like you saw a bit more of a cohesive unit prior to Brandon's return. You see this every year. Brandon goes out, he comes back, the team start playing slower, the effort is lacking a little bit. They take on the persona of the, I guess you call him the locker room leader or the guy who people follow in the locker room. I think before Brandon came back, you saw guys playing with a lot more joy, a lot more effectiveness. Guys with the energy was just better. You know what I'm saying? You even saw a little bit more joy, effectiveness. What's one? Oh, gaping hole. Oh yeah, that's crazy. But that's crazy, Steven. Thank you for your donation, though. But yeah, you just saw a bit more sense of urgency. Like Zion, I think he said it again in the press conference tonight. Y'all gotta watch Zion press conferences. Zion is very. Tonight he was just like, yeah, kind of just taking a back seat. Again, he don't want to take the fucking back seat. He don't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that. And this is the stupid thing. Ross said this before about Steph Curry. And no one's comparing Zion to Steph Curry. But when you have a player that's an extreme advantage creator, their weaknesses, look, their advantages totally overshadow their weaknesses. Totally. You have to play to guys' strengths at times. If he don't want to do that, if it's leading to him being discouraged on the court and other people being discouraged on the court, because clearly Zion ain't the only one that's playing worse since Brandon came back. Look at JV. So if you taking out two of your best advantage creators on the court by dropping this guy back into the offense or into the half court or what have you, it's clear what the problem is. I don't think Willie Green's the problem, but I damn sure don't think he's the solution. But I do know that Willie Green will never be in charge of this team. James Borregno will never be in charge of this offense as long as Brandon's on the court. That's just what it is.
I gotta get to this comment. Corey now was saying Matt Ryan he shouldn't be in that unit. He should be playing, but like you got to put Matt Ryan around like Zion Williamson, not JRE and Larry Nance. Like Matt Ryan's not going to be productive in that lineup. Oh, what's next? Keep giving your comments. I'll keep bringing them up. Once again, appreciate y'all pulling up, man. This is awesome here on a Sunday night, 9:00. Pelicans have lost 5 in a row. We went through this problem. Yeah.
No, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I still cut you off. So listen, I don't know what the comment was, but it was about defense.
We don't talk about defense. The Mavericks will scored 150. Let me see. No, bro, I think the Mavericks will scored 160.
Yeah, I was gonna say 150 might be nice.
Let me see if I can find it. But go ahead, Lito.
No, that's valid. I think that is the main problem is that your two best players don't give effort on defense, and that affects the whole game. It's a synergy in that how you say the ball has energy, but the thing is if they aren't leading by example on the defensive end. Like nobody else is, and even though like Jordan Hawkins is inept defensively in some ways, just because of the lack of the foundation there for him. But you see him give effort. Like JV is slow of foot, but he had 2 blocks tonight, right? I'm not saying he was great, but you saw him give effort, and I don't feel that way when I see Brandon and Zion. I'm not gonna harp on one or the other. I think they are both the problem.
Yeah, people are saying, Ross, people are saying we're being too hard on Brandon and not on Zion. And like, I don't understand that. The last 3 episodes, we've just gone in on Zion Williamson. Like, I don't.
Can I say this? This offseason, I said Zion came into media day with a gut and he didn't look like he was in shape to me. People was in the comments crying like some hoes. Just crying like hoes. He said Zion had a gut. Come on, he looks phenomenal. Imagine saying weird shit. Imagine what he looks like with his shirt off. I don't want to imagine what he looks like with his shirt off. You weird motherfucker. So look, the man came into camp out of shape. Okay, cool. He ain't played since January. Whatever, right? Whatever. I don't see him playing basketball in the offseason. I don't know what he does in the offseason. I also don't know when he was cleared. But what I do know that is CJ is on the court. No, the fuck he ain't. Get out of here with that. Somebody listen to no fucking CJ. Get out of here with that. What do people, dude? This is the thing. This is the thing. When Brandon is on the court, CJ becomes a mouse. The leader, the hierarchy of people, motherfuckers follow. And it ain't about Brandon being a leader. It's about the person who just bucks the system. Brandon bucks the system when he's on the court. It ain't CJ can say, "Hey, Brandon, stop doing it." Brandon, yeah, all right, whatever. He's bucking the system. That it doesn't matter. Nobody's saying he's a leader, like guys are following him and guys are like doing what Brandon. No, he bucks the fucking system. He sets the tone. And after he does it for about a quarter or two, people get discouraged and stop playing. That's what happens. You've seen it happen since he's been back. So all y'all being tough on, I don't give a fuck. I'm tough on all these guys. I don't care about nobody last name on the jersey. I care about the front of the jersey. If you're playing like trash, I'm gonna say you're playing like trash. So get out your feelings. Stop being weird and lustful. Because stop projecting your lust onto me and onto my coworkers here. That's on you.
I really, and if you looked at the last couple of pods, though, like I gave 5 minutes today just talking about how bad Zion was. Like nobody's letting anybody off the hook. Like this shit is, again, what Chaz just said. Yo, if you playing bad, dog, I said this shit last pod. If you playing bad, I'm gonna say you playing bad. If you play good, I'm gonna say you play good. There's no fucking. I don't care about nothing else but the wins. And like Chaz said, I only care about the front of the jersey, dog. Like players come and go. I'm a fan of the Pelicans, so I'm gonna talk about the Pelicans. There's no stand accounts. And shout out to the stands for retweeting what I said last time. Y'all could keep that shit going. Throw some money behind it. And you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like nah, we just talking about the front of the jersey, bro.
Ross, someone where's the comment? It's hard to appreciate all the comments, guys. Someone asked, when does the losing streak end? And I remember Chaz. Fuck, I can't. Chaz literally texted us like this like a week ago. Here it is.
He did.
From Donald. Chaz texted us a week ago, like, yo, we could really lose 9 in a row here. Where do you see this?
I think we could go 1-9, but I think they beat the Mavs next time they play the Mavs. I think they beat Denver.
Okay, so they got Ross. They got Dallas at home.
Y'all kill me with this beat Denver stuff. They gonna fucking beat us like a drum.
Here we go. I hope we win so I can clip that up. We played Dallas, then we played Denver. That's coming up. Let's see.
And you play the Kings, right?
Oh yeah, Dallas, Denver, Minnesota, Sacramento. Huh?
You'll beat Sacramento. While you were looking at that, it's not really for me about like when does the losing streak end. It's more of like when do we start playing basketball that can lead to long-term success. Like yeah, it's NBA. Like we could win the next game. You said we played Denver, whatever. Like all right, I think we're gonna get our ass kicked, but we could win the game. Sure, it's the NBA. Guys have off nights. Jokic gets 3 early fouls. Whatever, shit happens. You win games. That's not conducive to long-term success. The way we have played since Brandon Ingram came back, and people, it's just the fact. It's not whatever. We don't like.
You gotta preface that shit. It's the facts.
It's a fact. Since he came back, we have played bad basketball. Bad basketball. Okay, less energy on both ends, slower brand. I mean, it's just a fact. Okay, and so that's my bigger concern is like, when do we stop playing a shitty brand of basketball that can lead to a winning streak? Because I've seen what the losing streaks look like. I think before we lost 10 or whatever last year, I said, damn, we might lose 10 in a row. Like, I know what it looks like when the losses are about to start stacking up, and you're in the middle of it right now. This is what it looks like.
But at that point, like Zion was out, we made the excuse, right?
Well, Zion everyone is out. You know? This is the whole point. I mean, you guys are. I sent y'all a text, and it's like, I think at one point early in the game, you're bitching about the lineup, and it's like, guys, go look at the bench that we ran out there tonight. The 3 guys, our first 3 guys off the bench, JRE, Matt Bryan, and whoever the fourth one was.
How does Sebring get thrown out for the first time? Like Sebring was the first guy last game, and now he just gets a DNP basically. I know he played whatever it was. 6
I think. I hate the. I'm sorry. Who was talking? You go ahead, Ro.
Go ahead, Chad. Go ahead.
I hate the fact that this team can be super realistic with Sebring and guys like Kyra and have such a short leash and be so fucking like just just relentless with holding on to this duo. This duo should average at minimum 50 points a night.
My dog, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to screen record that bad boy.
Wait,
Shout out.
Make it easy, dog. But
Zion, please.
yeah, but yo, that duo. To me, yeah, the bench was shitty. The bench been shitty the last 2 nights, but that duo should average at minimum 50 fucking points. Asking 25 from each of these dudes, that's not a tall order. That's not a tall order at all, man. It's really like the offense is so. It's like it looked like James never, joined the staff.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Now,
because the second unit it does. The second unit. Unit plays like that.
But see, here's the thing, and it's like that guy who works for the Grizzlies organization. Well, not the organization, who covers the Grizzlies, who works for Kevin O'Connor. When he said the team doesn't have chemistry, what he should have said was the people who matter the most don't have any chemistry. So the lineup that matters the most looks like James never joined. Like it makes it look like James never joined. Everything's so fucking difficult. Everything is difficult.
My bad, Chad. But that is the point. How do we decide when to do what? How do you get away with just not fucking listening? How is it that we can roll this shit out? Bro, like every game, this is the game plan, and yet it's like, oh, well, hold on. We don't want to do that shit, but we're gonna do this shit. Like this is shit you want to do.
And to your point, this isn't like I agree with you, and it's not. This isn't a like LeBron going to a new team and basically saying like, hey, we're just gonna do shit my way because my way works. Because his way fucking works.
Right.
Your way has led to one winning season and a thrashing first round exit by the Suns, like without their best player. Like we've seen the ceiling doing it your way. That's what's crazy to me. Like we've seen the ceiling do it in your way. It doesn't work.
But I know we're like we're harping on Brandon, but like hold up, like I gotta like. No. Williamson having 2 fucking rebounds.
No. Okay. Zion has been not just tonight.
Terrible. He's trash. Lifeless. He was lifeless. Like, I know. Like,
he
looks bad.
He's not playing.
He gets no easy buckets. He doesn't play any defense. No, he's been fucking trash too.
Let's. You know what? Let's go commercial. Let's get 30 seconds and then we'll get some more comments. In the NBA, the game can change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score 150 instantly in bonus bets just for betting $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BOOT. New customers can get 150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours. Shout out to DraftKings also. Company Burger located at 4600 Ferret Street and Crystal Hot Sauce. We'll keep going as long as I got comments, Lito. Sorry, I don't know who wanted to go there.
I just wanted to say, to answer Donald's question, I'm saying the Clippers.
Oh, I didn't know.
We're not going to win a homestand. We're not going to win a game on the homestand.
That was the question.
Is that what you're saying, Lito?
Bro, we about to play Denver. We just lost to the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves
we got Dallas again.
They mentally have us beat. The Timberwolves have us beat. Like they out physical us. The Kings. Okay.
You'll beat the Kings.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Nola Baby Casey. Hit that like button. Support the channel. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. My 3 wins is Mavericks, Nuggets, and Wolves, and I got a toss up for one of the Kings games just because I feel like some of those teams that just do the rest of the guy or just have a shitty night. It really has nothing to do with this team figuring it out whatsoever. Yeah, I agree. Zion needs to get a tech, but that's to me, Zion is not a passionate enough player, and that's where again recognizing guys' shortcomings and stepping in where they're weak at. Zion is a dude that needs to be consistently coached up. It has to be a pro.
Can I cut you off? Sorry. This is the comment. This is the quote from Will Guillory about Zion Williamson. Yeah. Last year, we had a team meeting and we brought up some things I can do better, especially with buying into the program. Right now, it's tough. I'm taking a little bit of a back seat right now. I'm trusting the process. I'm trying my best to buy in right now.
Hey, and this is the thing. I said this prior to the game, and Will knocking it out the park with them fucking questions. That's Will's like second or third, just great question, like very revealing question, right? Zion always says more than he should. Well, at least about that, but not about his workout habits. But with dude, he shouldn't have to take a back seat. That's the problem. This isn't Giannis taking a backseat to Dame, which would be even a little more logical because 3 points is more than 2 points. This is he's taking a backseat to an inferior player. So I would have to wonder how much that weighs on him and potentially the rest of the team. Now, that's no excuse for Zion's efforts. I saw shout out to my dog. He mentioned Lively also having 2 rebounds tonight. And I'm like, yeah, he did, but at the same time, Zion is a superstar. I can accept that from Lively. I can't accept that from Zion. I saw Zion walking through some of the half-court sets. Some of the screens he set were kind of lazy. Yep. It was just a lot of loafing around. It's a depressing offense. It's depressing. Everything about this team is depressing.
Kate, I'm sorry, we're trying to have fun, but Kate, this is year 5. Kate Boda, or if I'm not pronouncing it right, this is year 5. Kind of fed up with it. Go ahead, Ludo.
I just wanted to say shout out to Will Guillory because that's a great question.
Shout out to Will.
I don't know if the people who maybe not have been in the media room this year or just have heard the post game interviews from Zion, but Zion has not been talkative at all this.
That's fair, Jimmy. I appreciate you.
I respect that. But Zion ain't been talkative at all. Like this whole season since he walked. Justin, you was there. Fuck, he walked in the media day, and he did not want to talk. He didn't want to be there. His attitude was totally different. So shout out to Will for getting him to come out of his shell a bit and actually answer a question. But to me, that comment is very telling. Like. From Zion, to me, it sounds like
to Chaz's points, the back-to-back nights. Because me and Chaz texted on Friday night. Like, did we hear backseat? This is the second night in a row. He said it. Because here's my thing, guys. Look, I'm at practice. I'm not saying this doesn't happen during practice. When I'm at practice and what I get to view, there are a lot of meetings with Borrego Willie and Brandon, or Borrego Willie and CJ. I don't see many meetings with Zion. Now, look, there could be meetings happening during practice. I'm not saying that they don't meet. I'm just saying what I get to see after practice. I don't see many meetings. But also, I see Brandon and CJ getting extra shots up every single day after practice. I don't see Zion.
That's awesome. And Brandon is shooting a whopping 18% from fucking 3. So that's great, right? But I'll say this, man. Look, at the end of the day, who's the multi-time all-star here? Who's the guy who putting the fans in the stands? Who the superstar? Shout out to David Grubb. If you want this man to assume the leadership position, put him in position to be the unchallenged leader. He shouldn't be taking a fucking back seat to an inferior player. It makes no sense. That's like this is Drew MVP Drew permission to dominate all over again. This is what this is, all over again. And if Zion don't want to talk, he want to be booted up, and I think this shit a facade. But if he want to act like that, okay, then go out there and let that carry over to the court. Stop playing with these motherfuckers. Start smacking people. Start acting a fool. What are we doing?
Hey, Marlo, JRE, hold up. Marlo, JRE is Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Go ahead.
That's a funny comment, by the way. But who is JRE?
JRE.
That just shows you the state of affairs where we're at. 2 comments that I kind of want to chat about. One was a while back. You don't have to pull it up, but they asked when Jose comes back if we would consider starting him for the energy, and the answer to that is no. If everybody's healthy, obviously CJ starts, but it does highlight a point that looked terrible tonight. We need a and I think Five said this a couple days ago. That second unit needs a point guard so bad, and it's really, really evident right now. That second unit sometimes Zion kind of is a de facto point guard, but we need a secondary playmaker, secondary point guard.
Guys, we had Jordan Hawkins bring up the ball tonight multiple times.
That's what I'm saying. Jordan really Hawkins. Bad.
Jordan Hawkins.
It looked really, really bad. And then the other was The other comment I wanted to address was the one you just put up about, in year 5, us basically what we're saying is to give the ball to Zion and get out of the way. It's like, if that's what you're picking up from what we've been like barking about for the last few years, then I don't even want to really spend a lot of time addressing it. Like, that's almost the opposite of what we're saying. Like, what we're saying is what we're saying is the answer is definitely not give the ball to Brandon and move aside and slow it down. What we're saying is that we've at least seen an offense that looks functional around Zion, where the ball moves, there are open shots, things flow, everything happens quicker. Like, that's what we're saying. We're not saying let's play ISO ball with Zion in year 5. Like, some of this stuff is incredibly frustrating. But continue. Thanks for the comments.
I'm sorry. The JRE Ewing. I'm sorry. I kind of think.
Hey, look, it's crazy. We played Dallas.
That shit's
we
hilarious.
just played Dallas. Ain't that some shit?
That is some shit.
I did a little research, prior to this. So the last 5 games, right? Zion shot attempts 16, 22, 16, 20, 15. Brandon Ingram shot attempts 24, 25, 22. First game back in Atlanta, 10 when he fucked up everything. Field goal. No, I'm playing. I'm serious. Field goal attempt before that, 17. It's like, bro, that just can't happen. And if and it's not like he's shooting the ball great, bro. It's 11 for 24, 11 for 25, 10 for 22. Come on, man.
Can I get to this comment? And here's the thing, Enterprise. I appreciate your comment. I appreciate you watching this. But the point being that there was a point tonight that Najee Marshall was the point guard and brought it up is a problem. That's what we're trying to say. You gotta have a point guard. Like, I understand point Zion, but point Zion's like for 2 or 3 minutes at a time, not 48 minutes, right? Like, Brandon Ingram, not really a point guard. And also, I don't want Brandon Ingram to be a point guard. He's a scorer. Like, get him off ball, get him on off ball screens, let him score. CJ McCollum, he did not come here to be a fucking point guard. Like, I don't understand people like, well, CJ McCollum's your lead guard. That's a problem. We've been saying this whole offseason. We need a point guard. We don't have a point guard.
I want to ask you again.
Our only point guard is Jose.
I want to ask you again, because we had this conversation last pod. Give me an example. I want give me a guy you're thinking about as a point guard.
Would it me?
That's available?
Yes. Like a guy you would go after as far as like, Halliburton for sure. I know. But
he's not like
that's never gonna happen.
You
know
the
a
guy,
hard question to answer.
I'm sorry, but this is something I totally advocated for this offseason. I thought a person like Corey Joseph would have been a perfect backup situational starting point guard for this team. Smart guy, can shoot the three, can run the offense, just a high IQ professional player, veteran in the league. Now I would be looking more for like a Jaden Ivory, kind of guy, potential buy low candidate that you may, if you need to reset some things, you kind of look to Jaden Ivory.
Was Reggie Jackson a free agent this offseason?
Yeah, no, I think he was definitely going back to Denver no matter what though.
He was. Okay.
Tyus
Schroeder would have been good.
Tyus Jones, I think Tyus Jones is
perfect example. Dennis Schroeder is a perfect example. It's a perfect example.
He tried.
We had Najee Marshall bring up the ball tonight, Lito.
Najee Marshall dribbling the basketball is an abomination.
Yeah. Cole Anthony just extended in Orlando, though.
Right.
Who that? He just
hold up.
But that's a weird situation he in.
They have Jason.
The team has just ignore that. I don't even like.
Yeah. They got 2 superstars.
They also have Drew Holiday, who's played point guard in the NBA for like 15 years. They've had Derek White, who's been a primary facilitator over, at various points of his career. They've got Jalen. Could have
had Tyrese Maxey too. Of course,
he could have had a lot of. Boy, that pick looked. Oh, that's a bad pick.
He could have drafted Lito instead of Cairo.
Yeah, that pick should have gotten somebody fired just based on that alone. Just based on that pick alone, that's the equivalent to what's my man Sam Bowie? That's like a Sam Bowie level fuck up.
About that one, but yeah.
Well, of course not. It's a little hyperbole, but bro.
But you over
Tyrese Maxey. Dog Halliburton. Dog.
Yo. Hold up. Let's talk about this. Leo, sorry, who dat? Who that the eighth? Theodle? Maybe I'm definitely fucking that one up. I apologize.
Who that heater?
Orlando.
Who that heater?
Suggs. That's Suggs, Anthony.
Yeah.
They
Fultz.
got
Fultz.
and
Fultz, yeah, Markel.
They run a lot of the offense through Franz.
they could actually be an interesting target.
And then they
If
just
he
drafted
just-
Anthony. They just drafted Anthony Black. So they do have.
And they have Jonathan
Marquise.
Isaac. Then they have
And they got
Jonathan
that-
Isaac, who's also a rim protector.
And they got that guy who lost the Lakers game for him, who just went crazy. I forgot that guy's name, but I want to fight that dude. But I just don't know. He can't be traded until what, January at the earliest?
Who?
Cole Anthony.
I think so. I thought it was December, but you might be right.
I think that's in the off season. I think in the off season is December. I think if it's during the season, it may be January, but I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
But
Um,
what y'all think about Larry? Too.
I
Yeah,
think
let's talk
that-
about that.
I think-
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I think JRE minutes need to go ahead and be allocated to that situation.
Do you think it's time to do you think, and this is all seriousness,
Yeah.
do you think we need to go to Larry or the medical staff like, hey, you need a couple weeks here to a month to get right? Or because I mean you see JRE, I'm not saying he's Larry Nance, but I'm saying it's like, he shoots the ball pretty well, he plays hard, he crashes the boards, like
He does everything better. Go ahead. Finish the thought.
the thought being that he should be playing over Larry right now. Like he
Absolutely.
just should.
Hands down. Where can I vote? Where can I put my vote in it?
You can hit the like button.
Can I interject? I think to me it's a little pointless. Like
I don't. They get a lot of minutes, dude. It can't be pointless.
They do. But I mean, you got, in theory, Trey Murphy comes back, and neither of those guys should play much. Like they shouldn't play much once Trey gets back and Herb's back. I mean, you're talking about a couple minutes a game for either of those guys. At least in my opinion, I'd be playing Zeller over Larry Nance right now.
Man, I'm telling you, whenever Zeller comes on the court, we do good things. I don't know why. Leo, why don't he play? Or Chaz, why don't he play?
Well, Veterans Day just passed. American Revolution veteran Clitty got to give him a couple days off. But nah, I think in all seriousness, that man beat Bloodbath McGrath. Seriously though, I think it's just this obsession, and it has worked in certain spurts, but you got to do it in the right lineup. It has worked with Zion in the second unit sometimes, with Larry small ball, but it's like my biggest issue with Larry isn't just the fact that his injury concerns and some of the things he does even when he is healthy. It's like I want these guys to get all the money possible, right? But man, Larry is a minimum salary player making $10 million. So the opportunity costs in that roster spot to fill out the rest of this roster and get some better fitting guys. Like people talked about, I was like, why don't you go look at Nerlens Noel? Like, Willie wouldn't play Nerlens Noel. Like, and he's witnessing this. He's witnessing this, and he wouldn't play Nerlens Noel or play Boogie or play, one of these more able-bodied guys.
Chaz, I know you're going to agree. I think Larry is super useful because I think his salary really, really makes a lot of trades go from not feasible to feasible. Larry's been a fan of the pod. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a good locker room guy to have around all that stuff. But Larry's salary, that $11 million, is going to be super useful if we want to make a trade that is meaningful this year.
Okay.
That's
So
just a
speaking
fact.
of trades,
That's just a fact.
I mean, all of a sudden just got flooded with this. We'll make this the last segment. We've gone for an hour. Once again, appreciate everyone. It's like literally pulled up over 200 people in the room. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. We're definitely start doing this more. Lito.
Shit. Man. A realistic trade package for BI. Come back to me.
Jazz.
I got two realistic trade packages, right? One would be BI and Kyra for a Cat, probably straight up, or maybe you add a pick or two for Cat, right? And you're not only, because people will look at Cat's upcoming salary and see it like, oh, he's going to be making a lot of money. Brandon is probably 75% of that player, 80% of the best version of Cat, and he's going to be making nearly $50 million moving forward. You still got to make room for a guy like Trey Murphy's ascension. You get Kyrie off the books, and you duck the tax if you make that move. Another move I like is a three-team move between the Pelicans, Timberwolves, and the Pistons, to where the Pelicans sent out JV and I believe JV, Najee and Jose to Detroit. Send Brandon to boy, you call it Cat, so you don't know the half. You don't know the half of the story, brother. Right? But and you send Brandon to Minnesota, and the Pelicans land Cat and Ivy. That's something I think, and you add whatever picks necessary to make that happen. I think there's a lot of avenues. You get to maximize Zion, you get a point guard for the future, and you get another true level superstar player. Doesn't take away from CJ's game, because we presuming CJ gonna be back soon. And hey, I don't know. Jose still ain't back. So
I'm shocked a lot of people are off on Cat. I mean, I know he's got his negatives with him. Man, he can really score. Go ahead, Lito.
Best shooting big ever.
He's a good player. I know he's got some shit with him, but he's a really good player.
I think so. So I guess my question is: when we trade Brandon, right? Are we trying to get another superstar to fit that Brandon role, or are you trying to put pieces on a board?
It's your trade package.
Trying to make the team better.
Yeah,
trying to make the team better. Man, I was talking to Schmidt the other day, and
this is crazy though. I had to bring that up.
That's crazy. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Wow. We was talking about Zach LaVine, and Zach LaVine has the gravity to space the floor. He puts up enough threes to where big pause. He puts up enough threes to where, like you were talking about the kick out to Brandon. Brandon has 2 feet in the paint because Zion is literally there already. Like, Zach not only can space the floor, but Zach is I think his proficiency at getting to the rim is probably better than Brandon's also. And it's kind of the only thing with him, it's a layup or it's a 3. So
that's perfect.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's exactly what you want. That's legitimately exactly what you want.
Yeah, I was looking at Cat. I'm sorry, I had looked at that's crazy to say that too. I looked at the LaVine trade. I think the only thing is they would be in the tax. So that's still an issue. Like, do they want to pay the tax? And it's like, I doubt it with this shit we seeing. I don't know, man.
I got a question about. I want to ask. My bad.
Go ahead. No, I never said my bad.
I just want to say we need a center. And listen. Hey, I don't disagree. I think it depends on the style of big, like the style you want to play. Because we had this conversation before. Listen, we could get all the defense in the world, but if you throw Robert Williams down there, you give him the ball, and you think Zion doesn't have space,
he ain't doing nothing. Yeah,
you're gonna be in for some heartache when go ahead, Ross.
I know y'all keep going to that. I just think it's unfair because it's addition by subtraction when you get rid of Brandon. And Chad, you talked about this earlier, it's going to open things up more. And so if you got a Robert Williams, if you got one of these, traditional, rim runners, above the rim, shot blockers, deterrents, it's not gonna look the same as it does today because you're gonna have Brandon off the floor. In theory, you're gonna have a better fitting player.
Right, Trey probably starting
Trey Murphy, right? And you're gonna have a guy that is going to actually create more space for Zion because he's gonna become a rim threat. Think about guys like Luka, and all they need is a pick and a hard roll, and then you create even more space because you've got room above the rim. It's like I'm always cautious to say that to worry about spacing when you take Brandon off and you put a rim runner in because I think it just looks totally different. But Lito, keep going.
Lito, what's your thoughts on this comment from JH15?
You guys keep forgetting Brandon carried us to the playoffs in 2021, and Zion hasn't done anything. He doesn't try on defense. He can't shoot. At least BI can do both.
What? Bruh.
For sure.
Yeah, word.
So
word.
going back, all right, going back to the trade package thing. I'm all in on the Towns deal. I like that one. I know we kicked the tires on that Pistons one a lot. I still go back and look at the deal with Atlanta. I think Atlanta's kind of ripe for the picking.
Wow, that's kind of crazy timing right there.
How y'all feel about Trae Young?
They wouldn't. I don't think they would consider.
I don't think Atlanta would do it.
They're not doing that.
Yeah,
but
they wouldn't do
Atlanta does have spare parts that would be useful for us.
Yes.
I would love to get Capella. I think something like Bogdanovich or DeAndre Hunter and Capella for BI, something like that. I think it like, I hate to say this, I think it's almost a win-win for both teams. It creates more space for us. It gives us an interior defender that can do some things that we don't currently have on the roster, and it'll either give you in Bogdanovich another creator, another kind of savvy ball handler that can hit threes, spread the floor a little bit, or you get DeAndre Hunter, who's kind of a more traditional 3-and-D guy. But that one to me makes a lot of sense, and I could see Atlanta being a team saying like, man, we're right there if we just get one more, fringe all-star type, whatever.
I think the thing that issued y'all got a crazy argument going on.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think man, the only thing I wonder is Griff being able to sell this trade as a win, right? And I think only the Cat deal, and then you had Brian. It seems like destiny. I'll be honest, you got Brian Windhurst coming out now saying, "Oh, Cat's a distressed asset. He probably couldn't even get you any picks." And honestly, I'm sure Griff gonna call and try to put a bunch of junk together to go get Cat, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe Minnesota has the same ideology where they like, okay, we'll take junk and picks where our junk might be, Jonas, maybe Herb, a lot of people, gonna be hurt about that,
Larry.
But maybe Herb, Kyrie, in a bunch of picks. And I'm like, if you're gonna do that, cool. But you still have a huge Brandon Trey Murphy issue. And Cat's getting another raise as well. Trey gotta get paid, and Brandon want more money. It's like, come on, like you still have the issue.
Chat, I gotta bring this up. I'm so glad we do live because we get to address these comments. And this is some of my favorite comments right here. And Hollis, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for the comments. And the question is, any of these dudes hoop? What the fuck does that matter? Honestly, what does that matter to any of these dudes hoop? Guess what? We've all played basketball. I coach basketball. Yes, okay. We understand basketball. So what are you trying to say here? Are you trying to say that what we're saying is just complete and utter, like just trash? Like, what are you trying to say by do you guys play basketball? Because that's what I don't understand with that kind of comment. It's like, do you play basketball? A lot of people don't play basketball, but they still know the game. It's okay. You can play it, you can coach it, and still understand the game.
And it's like,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point too. Hey, that's a fair point.
But it's not about helping Zion at all. It's about gaining independence from Zion and picking a direction. Like at some point, you have to build a team that's good, independent of an unreliable player, and or be ready to pivot away from that player. If the Pelicans ain't getting younger, they're not getting cheaper. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting better necessarily, so they just leaning into a bad product.
Because the other part, Chaz, the other part why we always are bringing up these BI trades. One, not just obviously the basketball side of it is one, but like he's about to be due for, he's going to want a max extension, which like clearly we don't want to be on the hook for. Even if you think Ingram is a really good player, even if you really like him and you think this is all on Zion, like even if you really think that. There's no way that someone is watching these games and saying, "Hey, next year we got to get BI that $50 million a year extension." Like, there's no way that anyone can possibly think that that's justified. Like, even if you think he's a good player and he's not the problem, you still can't possibly think that he's in that realm of players that need to be making that amount. It's just not going to be successful. Like, so that's the other side that you have to keep in the back of your mind is like, the longer this goes over the next year and a half, the more leverage you lose in that deal, right? Because right now people some other team could convince themselves, well, we've got a year, maybe this works. We get a little time to figure it out. If this goes into next year, you're really talking about like just, a giveaway, like just. Nothing. Getting nothing for him.
Go ahead, Little.
I was just gonna say, as far as like trading any one of them, if you're trading either Brandon or you trade Zion, I think you need to trade for strength. You need to trade. You see what it is that they do together that does not seem to be working. So you should if you're going to keep Brandon, you trade for a player to help Brandon's strengths. If you keep Zion, you acquire pieces, which probably in both cases should be shooting. Is the premium in my opinion in those trades and defense, because they're not going to do
either of those things.
Either they're. So it's crazy. Like two different players, but it's still the same problem.
Can I ask y'all this? I'm sorry. Do y'all think Brandon's value is lower since FIBA and the start of the season than it was this past offseason?
I don't know, man. Like I think the people in the NBA, like the circles, and like KD always say, like the dudes who know, they know. So I don't think that
KD don't be knowing though. KD be lying.
I don't think people really take FIBA. I don't think FIBA matters at all. I think everybody's already forgotten about it.
No, yeah. No, I mean for the start of the season as well. Those two things combined.
I mean, I think when he played, like this is kind of the whole point for me, right? Is it like I don't think his value is necessarily any different than it has been. Like he's the same player. Like when he's healthy, he's the same player. Like if you like that style or that style fits your roster, like cool, then maybe he's a more useful player for you than he would be for us. If you have better pieces around him, maybe he looks a little different. It just isn't working here. So like I think his value is the same as it would have been last year when he was healthy.
Chaz, this will make you happy, but Jared has a full interview of Brandon Ingram in the locker room that we're uploading to the YouTube 4 minutes. So
he talk tonight?
No, he did not talk to the press, but with Five Media Man, he was in the locker room.
Shout out to Five. Shout out to Five.
So we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that interview.
An exclusive.
Yeah.
Chaz, can you please repeat the question that you asked? Because that's what I was.
I would just say, wait, we got to go get a little thing. That's great. Yo, Kyle, that's wild, Kyle.
Why are we? Can we not bring this up, guys? Can I control the comments? Y'all out of control, man.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Hey, I was about to say something.
Chaz, what was the question?
Anyway.
What was the question?
I was about to say, do you think Brandon's value may have decreased any going into this year? Because due to the FIBA stuff, how he started the season with a couple injuries and career lows across the board in some areas, the contract.
I see what you're saying. It's 10 games in. Like I think Brandon still has time to turn around. He's a good player. Lost value. It's a good question. I would be more worried now. If this continues for the next 15, 20 games, and I don't see any improvement, then I'm like, oh, something might be
additional
wrong.
15, 20, or once we
get Brandon, look, me and Lito talk about this a lot during the offseason. He starts slow. This is the problem. Brandon Zion always start off slow. Like that's a thing. And I thought me and Lito, I think we did a show on like, hey, if Brandon plays FIBA, he's gonna come in shape, he's gonna come in ready. Haven't seen that. Zion, once again, he's gonna come in ready, he's gonna come in shape. He is clearly not in shape.
That was my words. I swear to God, like that was my exact. I said Brandon is gonna play FIBA. He's gonna come in the season. He's gonna come in to the season ready to play basketball, right? And like he's proved me wrong. I said the same thing about well. Let me say this. From Griff's comments, I said that about Zion, and Griff has proved me wrong also. So,
do you think Griff's done a bad job? Because I thought about it, like. He's missed on some. Hold on.
Nah.
This is interesting. What?
Yes and no, but no. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you took any, bro,
and no, but no.
we're talking two superstars, right? Superstar to superstar, right? If you took Maxey and you took Embiid and you put them on his team, I guarantee you these motherfuckers would be good. If you took Brown and Tatum and you put them on his team, whoever, Bam. Whoever.
Take Luka. Luka,
bro. Like, nah. I'm not about to do that. Like, nah. The roster has talent. Like, granted, I'm giving it to you. It's not the greatest build because of 1-14.
Do you think he's done a bad job, Chaz?
I think he's done a bad job just because he got the answers to his own test and he failing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro,
Damn.
you know, again, the signs were there. This is the man who said, Griff is living off of the LeBron championship. We all know LeBron's the GM of his teams. You know what I'm saying? We all know how hands-on, especially prime LeBron, how hands-on LeBron was in those days. Griff, he doesn't really have any like real wins to celebrate or like accomplishments in the league. He was just like a popular television guy. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about a lot of the time. And then you give him your money, he stopped answering the phone. That's what he is. He's a shyster. Like, because think about this, right? Think about this. You know who Brandon is, right? So, and we know things behind the scenes. You know who Brandon and Zion is. We know some behind the scenes shit. So imagine the shit Griff must know, right? Imagine everything Griff, the thin hair. Yeah, that boy, Trey looked like a Shih Tzu. Trey like a Shih Tzu back head. But yeah, so I'm saying imagine all the things Griff knows, right? Because let's say you don't count Evan Gentry. All right, you fired one coach. You got another coach who isn't exactly what the team needs. You don't exactly put him into a position to succeed. You got a bunch of people in the front office. No one knows what that does. You got a bunch of glorified administrative assistants and token people, just token all in the videos, all on the records. I'm talking about a couple people in particular. You got a couple of them in the front office, never know what they do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, bro, if you just running a failing ship, it's a failing product, and you the face of the thing. So I have to shift all the blame to you because you put all these motherfuckers together. Nobody asked for these people. You brought them here.
Ross, I'll let you, Lito. I will let you close us out. We'll get Ross.
It goes to the same thing I kind of told you guys earlier. At a certain point, someone has to be accountable, right? Same thing with the Saints. Like, Loomis, you've let this go on so long that now you're in the jackpot. Like, you're accountable for this too, because at some point somebody's got to make a tough decision, right? Like, you can't just continue to allow mediocrity. And if you're the person in charge, whether I think you brought in I've said from day one, the draft is a crapshoot. You could have all the draft picks you want, and it's a total coin flip. Go look at every team, every year, every draft. There is no level of consistency. No one wins consistently in the draft. It just doesn't happen. That's why I don't really want any of these picks. I have never wanted them. But I think he totally, where he has failed us was there were opportunities to drastically improve the team by getting off those picks, and he didn't do it because keeping the picks helped keep his job, because he's been able to fall back on this whole look to next year, look to next year, look to next year. We've been looking to next year now for 5 years. My best players have been hurt. We got 1 million picks in 2025. Oh, Brandon was hurt this year, but we still have all these picks in 2024, 2025. Oh, look at that. Zion's hurt again. It's been the same story over and over and over. And we now have let those picks that were never going to be worth anything actually come to fruition, so that they are actually now worth nothing other than our own, which I've said, Justin, for 5 years now, I've been saying that our best picks have always been our own picks. These other ones don't mean shit, because our picks are always going to be better. And that to me is like, in free agency, yeah, we've hit and missed. In trades, we've hit and missed. In the draft, we've hit and missed. Everybody, for the most part, does that. But where he really failed us was when there was an opportunity to make deals that could have drastically altered the future of the team. He didn't do it because he didn't want to risk anything.
Lito, close us out.
Also,
before we get to Lito, that was well said, Ross. Please hit that like button, subscribe. We're about to close it out. We're definitely going to go live more after games, mostly on the weekend, but we appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all's support. Make sure you hit that like button. Go ahead, Lito.
I think I changed my mind about my own point. He has done a bad job, because if you look at the fit of the roster, which the roster that you created, you see what was needed, what has worked and what has not worked. And at the same time, you see that your star players may not work together. And you've had this war chest, as Ross spoke to. You had this war chest of picks that has now potentially spoiled milk. Like, that shit is old, soggy milk in the fridge. Like, you can do nothing with those picks at this point. And if it's on him to be accountable and change the settings of the team, like, yeah, I would say that he has not done a good job in. And he got to live with that. But before we get out of here, I want to say one thing. How much longer do you think they're going to let Zion say, I'm going to keep taking a back seat, and before like Willie or Griff or somebody in the front office steps in, like what's the over under you think of games where they're going to continuously let this shit ride until they do something, say something, or like, I'm just curious about that.
You think Zion feels left out? Maybe.
I think to answer Lito's question, I think I give it to the end of the homestand. And if
Yes,
I'm Griff, I'm happy. I'm happy he's saying it. And I wouldn't step in on his behalf to make any adjustments, because it's like, yo, this is your moment. This is your moment to step up and you make the adjustment. Like Dyson got the rebound, went coast to coast. No one can stop him a couple times tonight. Zion, you get the rebound, you go coast to coast. No one can stop him tonight. Just you gotta step into that position and be your own advocate. You know what I'm saying? Be your own best advocate. And again, if you're not willing to do that, then we know you're not that guy, and you're either gonna sink or swim. You're either gonna keep him or you keep Brandon, but one of y'all got to go. Or you know what I'm saying? So let's just move on.
Well, lost 5 in a row. Tuesday we'll do a recap.
5 in a row. That's crazy.
Appreciate everyone that pulled up tonight. Damn, just I can't believe this many people at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. So like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear your thoughts on the 5-game losing streak. We'll see y'all on
Derek cut trash.
Okay.